Hey guys, welcome back to the 1% podcast. I'm your host, John CPG, and alongside me is Abdullah Al Kobeissy, back again.
It's again.
What's going on,
Back
bro?
on, bro.
How you been?
Amazing. Feeling great. Feeling like I can take over.
Of course you can, bro.
Just on a big journey, man. It's happening, you know.
How's
So
everything now since the podcast came out, like from the beginning? Because let's talk about that. There's been crazy reactions.
I've spoken about a lot of things. I've emphasized on a lot of really important things that people should take in and consider in their day-to-day life when it comes to the foundation, when it comes to what we talk about on this podcast. It's quite a big influence. It's quite a big impact. I mean, me speaking of it as a speaker right now behind this mic, I can already feel the impact that I'm giving to myself by speaking it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you talk about things like that, you can always relate to it to yourself as well.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I'm following by it. Like I said, I'm a man that stands up for what he says, and I'm standing high and strong for what I say. And I know that it's impacting people, and I could easily see that I've already changed a lot of people's lives that's, you know, been around me. And you could, you know, speak for that as well.
Absolutely.
You know, so
Absolutely.
yeah, man, we're going places. We're taking over, and I can't wait. We're just gonna keep going at this stage, hey?
Well, that's one thing, but here's another thing as well. We're talking about the foundation, but then another thing is the 1%.
Yeah.
What is the 1% to you? What is the 1%? What is this 1%? A lot of people asking, what's this 1%? What's going on?
The 1% is pretty much on billboards. It's pretty much on private jets. It's pretty
Everywhere,
much on.
yeah.
It's everywhere. You're gonna see this logo and this brand pretty much across the whole world soon. You know, and this is like something that a lot of people, right? If I was getting asked, which is something a lot of people ask me, like, what makes someone quite unique? What makes someone special? And, you know, what differentiates a room full of, let's say, 1,000 people? What differentiates one person across the rest of the people, right? And it's really about what you are as a person and what you're involved with and what your lifestyle is and who you represent and what you stand up for. And depending on all of that is what makes you quite in the 1%, right? I believe that if you do follow the 5 pillars of the foundation, which is obviously, you know, having an inspiration, which is your motivation, having a really, really good mindset, a strong mindset where obviously you're compelled and you're ready for failure, right? And number 3 is, you know, you've got a good health, you've got a good body, you've got good physique. You walk into the room and you're that tank, you know. And number 4 is the environment. You've got a good social network. You've got good people around you. You've got people that are quite respected in the community. You know, you've got your day ones that you've brought into your life that you never let go of because they are inspired by what you do and you've kept them and you've showed them the way, and now they're exactly like you. And number 5 is the education. You know your things. You're very quite talented. You're smart. You know a lot of things that other people don't know. If you have these 5 pillars, right, and then you want to become part of the 1% of the world, which is very, very rare, which makes you go from a nobody to a crazy somebody, right? Then it pretty much talks about what the financial freedom is, and that's what the 1% is. Your financial freedom is the 1%, right? And I believe that if you're financially free and you are capable, so it means financially free as in like there's money coming into your account while you're asleep, right? You've got the financial freedom to do anything and go anywhere you want. You don't have to stress about money as much, right? You have the momentum where you could easily pick up a phone and order a McLaren or pick up a phone and order a Maybach tomorrow. Just something that I would do. You know? Yeah. So I believe that if you have a good balance in life, which is the 5 pillars that we talk about from the foundation, and then you are financially stable, you're financially free, then this makes you part of the 1%, right? What makes you part of the 1% in the world? What makes you so unique? What makes you stand out? What makes you the person that when you're walking into the room, all the attention is, you know, moved towards you? That comes through the 1%. That comes through you being part of the 1% of the world, which means that if something right now was to happen, you know, you've got a great balance in your life. And also on top of that, you've always got the financial freedom. So money solves all your problems, right? Yeah. And that's quite rare. You walk in, let's say right now you have a room, let's say you're about to interview a lot of people, right? You're a boss. One person walks in, he's financially stable. But guess what? He's not in good shape. He's out of shape. he doesn't have a good mindset. You could tell he's easily going to give up on many things, right? Let's say financially stable, got lucky, whatever. Not someone that I would consider part of the 1%. Another person walks in, they have a good balance, right? Which is the foundation, and they follow the 5 pillars, and obviously I could see that, but you know what? They're not part of the 1%. They're not financially free. Nah, won't do it. He's not part of the 1%. The 1% is like a massive, massive thing, man. It's like you got to fight for this thing. You got to fight to be unique. You got to be fighting to be someone that stands out across everyone, right? If the moment someone walks into a room and looks at 1,000 people, you're that guy there that they could look at and be like, it's him. He's the guy that I would say that's quite rare. He's quite unique. The way he is, his body shape, how, his physique is, the way he talks, his mindset, how, his net worth, what he rocked up in, what car he rocked up in, all of that, and that makes you part of the 1%. I believe as well that if you have a foundation, right, it's not enough. Like, okay, the foundation is great. It's really good to set a balance in your life. But then you have to now pursue being part of the 1%. Don't you want to be part of the world, right? That excludes you from 99% of the world, which is peasants, people that don't do anything with their life. Yeah. If there's a rave, they're all there. If there's a party, they're all there. If right now, something that's really not benefiting them in any shape or form, they're there before you, but you're not there, right? Don't you want to be that? Don't you want to be exclusive? Don't you want to be that person that when you're talked about, right? You're talked about in a way where you're very unique, you're very rare, because obviously there's not many people like you. This is what the 1% is. It takes a lot to get into the 1%. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to get and be part of the 1%. You have to obviously have your foundation. There is no way right now without, you following the foundation and the pillars of, what we talk about, which is the 5 pillars that makes you and gives you the balance in life. There is no way you could be part of the 1%. If you don't have that and you're thinking because you're financially free and because you're financially successful, you're part of the 1%, it doesn't make any sense. Right? You don't have a balance in life. I mean, even right now, if you think because you're financially free, you could do anything. Without the foundation, you do not have a great life. You will have anxiety. You will have depression. You'll be going through a lot. You'll be hating yourself. You'll be hating your body, right? If you bring a very, very, very rich man into this room, right? And you sit him down with me and then he's out of shape. He's not in good shape. He's got a really low mindset. Anything that happens in his life, he's crumbling. And the only thing that's solving his problems is his money. But at the same time, it's still giving him that headache. It's still giving him that stress. It's still giving him that anxiety. If he had the 5 pillars, if he had the foundation, right, then he wouldn't have that. Because he has a strong mindset. He's got a good body. He's in shape. He has a good environment. All his mates around him bringing him up. And they're continuously motivating him and everything. And he's a strong man. You can't bring this man down. I can easily bring a rich man down into this room that doesn't have a balance in life. I can just literally tell him, bro, you look fat, bro. You're ugly. You need to just walk out this room, and he'll take it to heart. And the next minute, this guy hates me because he doesn't have a great mindset. Remember, the foundation really relates to the 1%. Without the foundation, you do not... it's very hard to be part of the 1%, even if you think you're financially stable, even if you think you're rich, even if you think that you're extremely wealthy to a point where you could afford anything. Yes, it solves a lot of your problems. Yes, you get to do what you want, but are you really living that life? Remember, it's about the inner side of you. What's inside of you as a person and what you do and what you pursue and the finer things in life. Like, look, right now, if you go on your Instagram or you go on your TikTok, what are really rich and famous people doing? What are successful people doing, right? They're flying private jets. They're in supercars day by day. They go and, take the next first class ticket to Dubai. Next minute in Dubai, they're spending their time at a 7-star hotel, which obviously I've spent, quite a number of times in. But when you actually, if you were to be alongside these people and hang around these people, right? And during the entire time that it's on camera and you're behind the scenes, if these people don't have a balance in life, genuinely inside of them, they're not happy. Genuinely inside, they're going through a very, very big depression about their life. And there's nothing they could do that could change that. No money in the world could change if you're happy. Money doesn't really change money fixes the problems, yes. But when we talk about does money make you happy, I believe that right now, if I was to buy the most expensive supercar, right, it's obviously going to sound exciting to me. But after the first couple of months, I'm over it. So what is the 100% rate guarantee that you're going to be happy for quite a long time? It's the balance in your life. Remember, your body and your mindset and everything is a property of God. And God loves people God loves the slave that actually takes care of his body, because at the end of the day, it's God's property. God loves the slave that actually takes care of his mindset, takes care of his biggest asset, which is the mindset. And if you do not have that in you, right, God will allow you to be successful and have money, which obviously in your head you're successful. But are you really living that life? Are you really living those moments? Are you really living those precious moments inside of you that you're actually happy and you're actually, you're quite satisfied with what's going on around you? I can tell you for a fact right now, I've met some extremely rich and successful people, right? But I can tell you one thing, because of the balance they have in life and because of how rigid it is, they're always stressed. They're always overthinking. They're always insecure about many things about their life, even though you can have 100 people telling them it's not the case, but it's about their mindset and their mentality and everything. And that's because they don't have a balance in life, right? Money makes you happy for a certain point of time, but after that, everything that makes you happy after is the you inside of you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the you inside of you. What's inside of you and what you think about and everything. Like, for example, now, I'll take a first flight ticket, right, to Dubai. I'll have my 7-star hotel booked. I'll have my supercar Lamborghini Aventador ready. And guess what? That sounds exciting, right? But for a rich, successful man that's been doing it over and over again, it's just another day. So what makes you happy after that? It's the balance that you have in life. Are you hitting the gym every day? Are you taking care of your body? Do you have a good social network? Do your friends bring you up things about you other than what you have around you, right? Things that are about you, your the way you look, the way you talk, the way you represent yourself. Do people around you respect that? I believe that having respect from the people around you brings happiness to you, because in some ways you're respected, in some ways you're loved. It takes a lot more than, flying on the private jet and having the most flashy car and then being in, and living it up in the most craziest hotel. It takes a lot more than that. It takes your balance. Your balance is quite important to you. And if you have that, right, and you are financially free to a point where you could do whatever the fuck you want, right, then guess what? You are one hell of a successful man. And for me, that there is what I call the real deal, because you have a balance in life. You are not fully comfortable. So the thing is, having a balance, right, which is the foundation, it doesn't fully entirely make you comfortable, right? What it does is it brings you out of your comfort zone to wake up every day, work, make sure your life is balanced. And at the same time, you are financially stable, because right now you are part of what we call the 1%, the 1% of the world that is very, very rare at the moment. How many people do you know around you that aren't doing it too well? How many people do you know around you that are so successful and have so much money, but the moment you go spend some time with them, they're quite depressed. They're going through a lot of things, right? But then if you were to sit with that man that is very successful, that has a good balance, that is a very wise man, that says no to a lot of things that he could say yes to because of his money, what happens then? Isn't that man someone that you respect and love, and you kind of like look at and be like, man, this guy's got everything, right? So that's what makes you part of the 1%. And if you do have that, then you're, in my eyes, quite successful, in a massive sort of way.
Absolutely.
I believe if you think that money gets to you, if money gets to you one day, and your wealth and everything, and you begin to lose it a bit, then it's really hard for you to be talking about you being part of the 1%, because you're losing it, absolutely losing it. Whatever money that you have, whatever it is, when it comes to money, you're spending, right? You don't care. You're not saying no to anything. In your ego and your pride and whatever you've brought around you, you're just saying, yes, I'm going to spend this. Yes, I'm going to spend on that. It doesn't matter to me. I can afford it. But that's not the case. It's only making you worse later down the line. And at one stage, your money is not going to help you bring you back to normal. We've heard of very, really, really successful rich people commit suicide, haven't we? Because of their imbalance.
Crazy. And
you have to understand, right? Even though you're following the foundation, even though right now you're financially stable, right? In life, whether you like it or not, you're going to have an imbalance. Many things happen in your life that bring you out of balance. But the foundation is there to keep you strong and bring you back on the journey. No one's ever lived life so perfectly and so smooth to a point where they've never encountered a problem. They've never went through hardship. Most people have lived a life that they went through a lot of hardship, a lot of difficulties, a lot of financial problems. But that's the point. It's when you have an imbalance in life and how you can get back up and get back on balance. This is what the foundation does. Once the foundation is followed and now you want to be financially free, let's say if you're not, what happens is follow the 1%. And this is something that we're going to be talking about in a lot of the podcasts that's coming up, what the 1% is, what it offers for people, what it gives back to the people, and it's going to be crazy. I'm so keen about what the 1% has to offer. It's the biggest thing I've ever worked on. We're about to take over the internet with this thing. No motivational speaker, no person that's ever jumped on the internet and spoke behind the mic could ever go near the 1% and whatever we've been working on. Impossible. And we're about to change the game.
Sent it right there, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. I'm really keen, my guy. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your answer. So, there's a lot of people out there who would say that they're trapped in the matrix because they work there. I don't know, they could do a warehouse job that has like a 10-hour shift and they work 5 days a week, right? And what's hard for them is that when they come back from work, they're too tired to do anything. And what all they want to do, they plan their weekend just around going to the clubs and spending all their money on that. Then they continue working again. Then they blame the matrix for them not being successful. So
you really wanna talk about the matrix right now? You really wanna? Okay.
I want you to send it here.
I'm about to talk about the matrix. I'm
Yeah.
about to look. You've asked that question, and it's a big question, and it's been going around the internet for quite a long time now. I feel like someone's been emphasizing and talking about the matrix and what the matrix does and how bad it is for you and whatever. Things are about to get deep. So if you're listening to this right now, it's about to get really spiced up. Listen to this. You want to talk about the matrix?
Yes.
You want to talk about the matrix? No problem. So with the matrix, right? The thing is, if I'm landing up on your For You page, I'm ending up on your Instagram reel, whatever it is, and right now you've just finished your shift or you're on your break and you're listening to this, I have something to tell you. I've got good news for you. If ever in your head you think, right, that you're in this so-called rat race and that the matrix is stealing away your journey from becoming the most successful man and that you're always going to be working for the rest of your life for someone, the good news is, guess what? That's incorrect. The bad news is it's compelled into your mind that you think that's going to be the case. See, whenever the matrix is spoken about, it's been so attacked to a point where, look, it's not fair, it's not right, and I'm in this rat race and I don't deserve to be in a rat race because I've worked so hard for what I've been doing. Look, the matrix is there to set the balance for you, right? The system is there to give quite a fair play for people that work hard compared to people that don't. How is it fair that someone that sits at home, does nothing all day, right, earns more than me and I'm working hard day by day, right? How is that fair? It's not fair. So what the matrix does, if someone is lazy, they don't want to get up, they don't want to work, they don't want to do anything with their life, guess what? They're not going to get paid, but you will get paid, right? The only reason why you think it's a rat race and you hate the matrix is because by the time you're saving up your money, right, for whatever it is, right, you're only spending this money on the wrong things. You're only spending this money on partying and drinking and smoking and doing whatever. And by the weekend's over. And guess what? It's a Monday, baby boy. And guess what you're doing? You're back at work with zero in your bank account, right? So in that case, you become to think that this is the rat race. If I was to go around and ask people, yo, what do you think of the matrix, right? For someone that is saving money on the side for quite a big plan for later, they're not going to hate the matrix and they're not going to think it's the rat race. Why? Because they understand that the matrix is giving them an opportunity to do something with their life. It's unfair that the person that's sitting at home doing nothing with their life is getting paid. And that's what the matrix is there for, to give a fair play to someone that wakes up every day, goes to work, comes back home and works every day. Do you know the people that hate the matrix? Do you know who they are? They are the people who, when you go ask them, hey, what do you do with, your life over the weekend, right? And they tell you, I do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And guess what? Next minute, all you know is their paycheck is gone. They have no plans. You ask them what they're doing tomorrow and they don't even know what they're doing tonight, let alone start a business in a few years' time. These people, when you sit around them, they're the most negative people. And the moment you talk about them, they're like, yeah, the rat race and the matrix is so unfair and the system is, not treating everything that I do fairly. It's your fault. You're thinking this because the only way, right? The only way you could picture that the matrix is going against you is when you are literally spending paycheck to paycheck on dumb shit. And you can't tell me right now, sit down with me and tell me, yo man, but it's so much bills to pay and I can't afford and whatever I'm getting paid from is not enough. Well, get 2 jobs. The matrix is still giving you an opportunity to get 2 jobs. And if you have to work double, then so be it. But guess what? The person that's not working double is not getting paid. So imagine they're getting paid. You'll hate the matrix even more. But the matrix is there to set everything, quite fair for you. And if everyone was rich, then the word rich would have no meaning, right? That means without the matrix, everyone would be making money. And guess what? Everyone would be rich. Where is the fair play here? Where is my opportunity here? Where is my time to come in and play a game and, take over because of the matrix? The matrix is there to give you an opportunity. Now, let's say you've saved up your money. You're about to start a business because you've been working a 9 to 5. You've been working day by day and you've been saving up for the past, let's say, a year, right? You've saved up $100,000. You're about to start a business. The first thing that happens after you start the business, you want to quit your job. So guess what? Now you've left this 9 to 5, which what we call, everyone's saying apparently, the rat race, right? And now you're going into this journey. You're about to begin. You're about to start working and you're about to start your own business, which is something you've been working really hard for, and it doesn't work out. The matrix is not at fault. The rat race, whatever you're talking about, has nothing to do with this. It was your decision to start up a business. The matrix gave you an opportunity to leave and pursue your own thing and become a boss where you can employ people, right? And then it didn't work out. But guess what the matrix is doing for you? Guess what the system is doing? It's giving you a second chance, another opportunity to come back and work for the other people, right? And, help the community, better the economy, and get back and build a business. The only way you're ever going to hate the matrix is when you have no plan, when you don't have a plan to get out. When in your head, the whole time you're in there, you're stuck in there. You're not coming out because you have no plan. You don't even know what you're doing tonight, let alone tomorrow. How is that going to work out? How is the matrix, right, going to be something that, isn't against you? Like it's going to be against you because you're not really working towards a better plan for yourself. The matrix is not something you should hate on. And by the way, the rat race and whatever it is, if you think that whatever you're working on at the moment and whatever it is that you're working for, the person that you're working for, if you think you're stuck in the rat race, that's the lowest and the dumbest mentality. You're only going to rock up to work every day hating your life more. If your mentality and your mind changes when it comes to that and you understand this is for me, not against me, you're going to start loving what you do. And when you start loving what you do, you're going to start developing a lot more. Because every person that's ever loved what they've ever done in life, they've only developed. They've only developed themselves because they love what they do. Imagine you hate your job. Imagine you hate waking up every day and going to work. It's not going to be long-lived. And you're going to have problems with your boss. You're going to have problems back home because you just hate your job, right? You hate where you work. You hate your environment. But that's your problem because in your head, it only took for someone to sit down behind the camera and tell you, yeah, it's the rat race and the matrix. And guess what? You have left your job now. You're sitting watching this guy on TikTok, Instagram all day, and you think he's right. But before you know it, you're not getting paid anymore. So guess what, dumbass? You're not getting paid. You're not making any money for yourself. You have no opportunity anymore. So much businesses that you start, you need money. You need an income. And that there, you're not getting paid. You're sitting and listening to this guy because you think the job that you've taken is a job that's making you part of the rat race and the matrix is against you, but it's only been the fair play because you didn't think of an opportunity that you can bring into your life that could take you out of that 6-7 months in. It was your fault. And that's what I'm saying. Do not think that if you're working at a 9 to 5, not for a split second right now, that you're working for someone and you're part of the rat race. You can work for someone, but as long as it's not for a long period of time, as long as you have a plan. If I walk up right now to someone and I ask them, hey, Paul, so what are you doing in the next 5 years? You're working at a 9 to 5. Can you please tell me what you're doing? Yeah, man, so I'm so keen to get like a pay raise in the next 5 years and I love my job and I love waking up every day, finishing work at 5 a.m., 5 p.m., whatever it is, right? Compared to someone, else asking them the same question and them telling you, yeah, in 6-7 months, I'm saving about $20,000-$30,000. I'm not doing any parties on the weekend. I'm not going anywhere on the weekend. I'm not spending too much time with friends, so I don't have to spend too much money. My saving is quite good at the moment. I've got 2 jobs, and in 6-7 months time, I've got a plan. I'm going to go and open my own sushi shop. I'm going to become a business owner, and guess what? That person is out of the rat race that you talk about in the matrix, but guess who gave him that opportunity? The matrix. So it's only fair. Damn. Compared to someone sitting at home and doing nothing, right? So it's quite important to understand that when it comes to the matrix, it's a fair play for everyone. And I believe that the matrix is fair because people get to work and make money. And the person that doesn't and sits at home and does nothing all day, why do they deserve to get paid, right? And how can we develop ourselves as humans, man? Like if there was no matrix, there wouldn't be Earth. Like without people working, without them having to find something to make money from, nothing is going to develop. Why am I on this podcast right now? Why am I sitting down and talking to you and giving you free value? Why? Because I'm telling you now, you being part of the matrix and you being part of the rat race that you're talking about is only fair play to you, so you could make money and get off that later down the line, right? You started at point blank. You weren't born in a rich family. You weren't born in a family that, you know, was financially supporting you, right? You couldn't afford to open a business. You've only started, you're 21 now, you know, how are you going to start and, you know, build whatever you're building without an income? The matrix is there to give you that opportunity, you idiot, and you think it's the rat race. Rock up to work, love what you do, get better at it, develop yourself, stay there for a period of time, leave, save up your income, open up your own business, fail, get back again, do the same thing, go back again. It worked. It worked. Why? What's your biggest thank you to? Obviously your family, right? I mean, they were there for you the whole time, but other than that, what is it? The matrix, the so-called rat race you've been talking about. If you think it's a rat race, if you think it's something that's going to always be against you and not for you, you're only going to end up at your work for a couple of months and you're out. You're going to have so much problems back then at home, back with your family, back with your boss, and it's just always going to affect you. This mindset is irrelevant. It's quite sad to have this sort of mindset, and it's going to hurt you, especially when you have nothing in your bank account. This is where you get started. And what I believe is you need to change your mentality. Things need to change.
Absolutely. I mean, man.
Yeah, man. The Matrix things, I had to talk about that a lot. You know?
I asked you to send
and we've
it,
spoken about this many times, Garashi.
Yeah.
Like, you understand that the narrative was only changed because of one man coming on the internet and thinking he could easily change the narrative. And a lot of people believed in that. And I'm so sorry to say that a lot of young kids believed in that. And a lot of young kids now, they don't have a career to pursue where they believe that they would never ever want to work for someone in the rest of their life. And I believe at some stages you should work for someone to experience it.
Oh, absolutely.
To even appreciate, well, later down the line when you become successful, you become a rich man, you become a wealthy man, to really appreciate what people have to go through when they wake up every morning and work. You know, every morning. Like, I look at these tradies, I'm passing by a fuel station and I look at them working and they're about to build the next fuel station. I'm saying, man, you know what? These people right there, we owe them so much, because without them now, I wouldn't be filling up at this fuel station. Without them now, in 10 years' time, when someone's about to run out of fuel, and if there was no fuel station here, that person will be on the side of the road. These are the person,
right.
These are the people that are actually, you know, bettering our life. And you know what? The next minute, we're telling them and we're attacking them. Whatever they're doing is a rat race. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. They're now being put down more than up. What you're doing, we love it. What you're doing back for the community, what you're giving back to the people, what you're doing and waking up every day to, we look up to that. We love that. And it's not the rat race. And guess what? We just want to tell you one thing. Just please do not be an idiot. Stay there for a period of time and go open and up your own business, go pursue your own career without having to work for someone for the rest of your life, because this is where things go wrong. You don't deserve to work for someone for the rest of your life, but you should do it at some certain point in your life, and then from there move on and develop yourself. If you're not developing yourself, this is where the problem is. But if you are developing yourself and you are moving to the next stage, then all we owe you is a big thank you. All we owe you is the love that we have for what you're doing, and we appreciate it. And it's not the rat race, and it's definitely something that's looked up to. It's definitely a lot more than a girl selling explicit content online, getting paid for no reason.
Oh, you're
definitely
going
a lot, and we love that.
You're going there.
Yeah, so
Fair enough, bro. I mean, damn, you sent it badly, bro.
thank you, brother. Now another day in this amazing episode.
I'm telling you.
Let's go.
Honest. Let me ask you this, man, as a final question, yeah?
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, before we wrap it up.
I don't mind, yeah.
All right, cool. So, this guy that you were talking about who's been influencing people in the wrong way, he was saying, all you need to quit your 9 to 5, all you use are bums, all you use are this, all you use are that. But I was thinking to myself, right, if that was the case, if everybody quit their 9 to 5 and started their own businesses, who would they hire? Right? So, I don't know how to put my question into the right way, but what are your thoughts on that guy? Is he trying to get money from people?
Look, at the end of the day, this is what happens. Right now, whatever I've just spoken about, if let's say 100 people were listening to this, I would say about 30 to 40 people would listen and understand. The rest just have a small mentality. So at the end of the day, it's a good thing that they stay working for the rest of their life for someone else.
Yeah.
But that's on them.
Yeah.
It's not for me to blame, right? But it's unfair when you go and put people down that are working quite hard day by day, morning by morning, leaving work, going back home, problems with their wives, problems with their families, problems with their siblings, problems with their friends, and then you're bringing it down to them that they're working in a rat race. And guess what? It's so sad for these people because at this stage, they're so vulnerable. They can't get out of what they're currently doing. They can't move from that, and they're so hurt by it, right? And it's so sad to see that young kids that listen to this and are quite influenced by it, they never ever want to get a job. And at one stage, they're going to be so pressured into getting a job. But because of the influence that this guy has brought in, they feel like if they ever get a job, it's like the worst thing on earth.
Right.
And that's a big problem right now. Imagine me rocking up the first day to my job, right? I'm like, yeah, I've officially signed up for the rat race. This is the person that's influenced people in the wrong way. And I genuinely condemn that. It's absolutely wrong what's happened there. It's absolutely not right to put people down like that. And it's not the way to go, especially if people are working hard to making our life better. Like, who built that road, bro? Who built that city, man? Who built that elevator right now that you're taking level 1 to level 16 from, huh?
Or that Bugatti.
What, don't we owe them bro, the Bugatti, man. Yeah, the Bugatti, yeah. What color is your Bugatti? Who built that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Did you build it? Did you do that? Did you go and build a machine that you could work out with? Someone did that, and now you're bringing it back to them by saying you're in the rat race. The Matrix is against you. The Matrix did that, including them. It was a together thing.
Right.
The influence is quite bad, so got to be careful who you're influenced around, hey?
Bro, you went at it today at this podcast, and I couldn't thank you enough, bro.
Always, my brother.
I couldn't thank you enough, man.
Another day, another podcast.
If you guys like this podcast, and I know you guys will, give it a subscribe, give us a follow. Abdullah, once again, just give out your Instagram.
Abdullah Kobeissy 1, add me on Instagram.
And at Young CPG. Anyways, guys, subscribe.